So we all know Peak Design is a brand that makes very reliable products and very interesting items that really help us photographers and videographers. So when I heard that they were coming out with a travel tripod, it really piqued my interest. Now this was first started on Kickstarter and soon it hit its goal really quickly, and I managed to get my hands on the first ever travel tripod that has landed in Singapore thanks to TK Photos for lending it to me over the weekend. And I really wanted to find out if this tripod really lives up to all its hype and see if it's really that good. So my impressions of this tripod when I first got my hands on it was that it was very futuristic looking. It had very nice carbon fiber patterns on it, and when there wasn't carbon fiber, it had this matte black texture which was very stylish, and honestly it looked great as a travel tripod. So the largest circumference on this tripod was the ball head. Everything else fit nicely within that footprint and made it very compact, making it very easy for you to pack into luggages or slot it into the side pockets of your bags. Just holding this tripod, you'll feel how solid and how well built it is. It is definitely not a cheap flimsy material that they were using, but then again, that weight did not translate very well into a travel tripod which they were advertising for. It comes in at about 1.27 kilograms for the carbon fiber edition and about 1.56 kilograms for the aluminium version. Now comparing that to my Manfrotto B3 tripod that I usually bring around on my travels, that weighs in about 1.55 kilograms, which is almost the same as the aluminium version. I even have a smaller travel tripod from Manfrotto that weighs in at about 0.9 kilograms, which is way lighter than the travel tripod carbon fiber edition. So that kind of made me question whether this truly is a travel tripod. Now let's just get into a bit about the specs of these things before we hit the pros and cons. For the collapsed dimension of the tripod, the length comes in at 39 centimeters and the diameter at 7.9 centimeters. Now when the tripod is deployed, the maximum height reaches 152.4 centimeters and the minimum height comes in at 14 centimeters. Now if you want to get it to the minimum height, you actually have to unscrew the center column, and how you might do this is that you firstly take out the entire center column, and when you shift around the ball head, you'll find a slot which you can use an Allen key to actually unscrew. That separates the two sections of the center column, allowing you to put the tripod even lower. Finally, the carrying capacity comes in at 9.1 kilograms. I tried it on with a telephoto lens and it worked fine. The video didn't look too shaky, and yeah, it could support that setup pretty well. Now the ball head is pretty interesting. How you would attach your camera onto this ball head, you'd use a Peak Design plate which is included with this tripod, and it's also adaptable to a capture clip that we would use on our backpacks. So like most quick releases, this works on a very simple mechanism where you just slot in the front and push down at the back and it secures your camera. But that's not the last step, you still need to use the securing ring to lock it in place. Now Peak Design has also included a phone mount that you can find hidden in the center column. Now you can also use this phone mount on this quick release, allowing you to use your phone with this tripod. Alright, so finally let's get into the pros and cons really quickly to just sum this whole thing up. For the pros, I think this is a very compact tripod, very easy to pack into your luggage or put it into the side of your bag. It's very sturdy and very stable for a carbon fiber tripod, and it suits most people's needs if you don't carry too big of a gear. Now lastly, like many of Peak Design's products, it comes with a lifetime warranty which you cannot underestimate. I've broken zippers on my bags and Peak Design has sent new ones over straight away. Their customer service is simply top notch, and thank you Peak Design so much for that. Now unfortunately, like all reviews, there has to be some bad sides about this. So for the cons, this is a very heavy tripod to be called a travel tripod. Honestly, picking it up, I was very discouraged to even bring it around to shoot, and a bit disappointed that it was called a travel tripod. Now, the next thing is that I felt that this tripod was not really meant for videographers. The ball head meant that it was more suited towards photographers. I couldn't really do a smooth panning shot because I couldn't lock in a specific axis. So yeah, if you're a photographer, then this is something good for you, but if you're a videographer like me, not something I would really want to get. Alright, so finally let's talk about the price of this tripod. This is not a cheap tripod. This is nowhere near a cheap tripod. It is pretty expensive. When it first came out on Kickstarter, I think the price was $450 for the carbon fiber edition and $290 for the aluminum edition. Now, retail price now when it's out, it's about $600 for the carbon fiber edition and $350 for the aluminum. So $600 for a carbon fiber tripod, that's very expensive. Very expensive. The Manfrotto B3 tripod that I showed you earlier costs only $170. So put that into perspective, and maybe that compactness isn't very worth it. So to sum this whole thing up, can I recommend this tripod? It is a good tripod. It does everything it should. It's very compact, it's very innovative, but the price, I can't afford it. I honestly can't afford it, and I don't know if many people can afford it. I understand that Peak Design has spent a lot of money researching and developing this design to make it very compact and very easy for people to bring around, but to be honest, I don't see much of a market in people buying this tripod. And I think the danger of this is that sooner or later another company is going to copy this compact design and make it cheaper because they don't have to go through all that research and development. So if I did have the money, I would support Peak Design. It is a wonderful company. They've made many great products. I have so many of their products with me, but honestly, the price is out of my league, and I think out of most people's pockets. So who is this tripod really for? If you are someone who believes in investing in very good equipment with a lifetime warranty, a very well-known and recommended brand, yes, this is for you. But if you're just an average photographer like myself and you don't have that much money to spend on a very expensive tripod, I think just any tripod with a known name brand will do the trick. I mean, tripods just hold up your camera. As long as it doesn't tip over, you're totally fine. A bit bulkier, but you're saving so much more money. Alright guys, so that's it for me. I hope this has been an informative review for you guys. If you guys have any further questions, leave them in the comments below. I'll try my best to answer them as much as I can. But this has been my honest review. I want to thank TK Photo again for lending me this tripod. It's the first in Singapore that has arrived, so everybody's queuing up to get it. And thank you so much for lending it to me over the weekend. Really appreciate it. And yeah guys, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the next video.